Tournament Center. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David-Marshall. Day 2 of Pro Tour Kyoto is done. We know who our top 8 is. It is headlined by Luis Scott Vargas. Luis rattled off a run of historic proportions this weekend.
So before coming into this tournament,
Yeah.
Luis, who's won a couple of Grand Prix around this, at World Championships, after round 11,
Yes.
he did not lose a match. He lost, fittingly, to Ryan Fuller, one of the people who has a 14-match streak winning on the Pro Tour.
Right.
Tied with John Finkel for what we believe is the longest match win streak.
Right, so Luis wins the last 7 rounds of Worlds in a row to finish 11th. Doesn't quite get to the top 8. 7-0 Pro Tour match win streak coming into this weekend, where
he then goes off on a 11-match win streak here to start the tournament. 18 wins in a row across 3 different formats.
Yes.
Extended, limited extended, standard.
limited again.
Limited again. It's crazy.
2 different draft formats, 4 formats if you want to count it, like 4 days. Previous record was 14 match wins in a row. He hit 18. Just ridiculous.
Shattered it.
So, if there's any question about who's playing the best Magic in the game right now, it's Luis Scott Vargas. I understand Shuhei was the player of the year, but I think LSV has clearly got the claim of best player in the game right now. He's winning Grand Prix. He's just constantly winning. And everybody was rooting for him. It was just awesome. Everybody was talking about it.
Are we sure Paul Cheon actually moved to Curacao?
What's your theory?
I think he silenced Paul Cheon's brain. He just doubled up the win totals that they were getting each.
Okay.
And just took them on himself, and he hacked Paul Cheon's Facebook account, and he's like, hey, I went bungee jumping today in Curacao. And he's just, he just ate Paul Cheon's brain. Maybe that's the only thing I can explain this run.
The other big story this weekend, and I mean, it was hard not to lead with this, Gabriel Massif has put up top 8 number 9. He's now tied with Kai Buda for the second most of all time. 9 top 8s for this guy, and he just keeps winning.
And it's not too long ago that you and I were sitting in the booth at Worlds.
Yeah,
going,
Paris.
Is he not the 3rd best player in the world?
Of all time.
Of all time.
Right.
And I think whatever question there was there, it's been answered resoundingly over the last 2 seasons.
No, it's true. I think Gabriel is a good bet to have the most top 8s of all time before he hangs it up. He just keeps winning. And the thing is, he's calm, he's confident, he's kind of humble, but he's just ridiculously talented. Stuff that other people find complicated, he just knows, whether it's building decks, whether it's finding subtle plays. He's just awesome at Magic. And 9 top 8s to show for it. We'll find out if he gets another win tomorrow. Right, he and LSV both trying to put a second Pro Tour win on their resumes. Right. And they're bracketed such that they could meet in the finals.
Oh,
what kind of final would that be?
That would be even better final than, that's just, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, Finkelmacher.
I was going to say that is, I couldn't figure out which Chicago.
Well, Finkelmacher was Worlds.
Right.
Right. So LSV plays Masayuya Tanahashi in the quarterfinals. There's 1 round. The other side of that bracket is Cedric Phillips and Brian Robinson. So LSV's got a black-white token stack. He's playing against fairies. Got 1 fairy stack. A lot of diversity in this top 8, by the way.
Absolutely. And a lot of unexpected cards, I think that, or at least...
You didn't expect to see Rafika the Many?
I did not. How
about it in a deck with Doran? I think Doran of the Many. That's my name for this deck. It's essentially, is it Doran? Is it Bant?
Doran
Double
of
Hierarch.
the many colors.
I think it's Doran of the Many colors, or Doran of the Many for sure.
Yeah.
It totally works, right? So Doran of the Many is being piloted by Brian Robinson. He plays Cedric Phillips. That's the other quarterfinal in that half of the bracket.
Cedric already beat Brian earlier to lock up his top 8 berth. Big smile on Cedric's face when he not only went, he got into the top 8, but then when he saw his quarterfinal pairing, he was licking his lips.
Nice.
He was very excited.
Ced went 7-0-1 with a red-white Kithkin deck, by the way, which is the best of any. Nobody went 8-0 in Standard this weekend.
Wow.
3 people went 7-0-1. I mean, Cedric Phillips draws in the last round to make it into top 8. Similarly, Akimasa Yamamoto with Boat Brew draws in the last round for 7-0-1. Meanwhile, Takayuki Nagaoka, 7-0-1 with Black-Green Elves. So those are your 3 undefeated decks, although nobody ran the table at 8-0. Other side of the bracket, Matteo Orsini-Jones from England will be playing against Gabriel Massif.
First player from England to make a top 8 since Craig Jones in Hawaii.
I think so. And that's Orsini-Jones has the other black-white token stack, and Massif's got 5-color control. He's just
pretty crazy list.
I like it. I mean, it looks good.
You did a deck tech with him. You guys talked about it.
Yeah. The other match rounding out the quarterfinals, Boat Brew in the hands of Akimasa Yamamoto against Jan Roos, the Boat Brew mirror matchup.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll start on that one. Those matchups get a little complicated.
We'll probably end on that one.
We will probably end on that one, that's fair. Boat Brew, I thought, was the story of this weekend. I mean, it's a very diverse top 8, but that actually, the field had a lot of Boat Brew, and Boat Brew did really well on day 1. Now, you see 2 Black-White Tokens decks in the top 8. You might say Black-White Tokens is the really good tournament for that deck. It was only the 6th most played, but to be fair, LSV and Matteo Orsini-Jones, he went 12-0 in draft between the 2 of them. So, the Tokens deck didn't do a lot of the heavy lifting there, but enough.
I think this could be, I think Red-White Kithkin has a shot of sneaking in there.
Cedric Phillips?
Yeah, I think he's well positioned for this tournament.
I'll buy that. I can't bet against Luis Scott Vargas.
Or Gabriel Nassif.
Or Gabriel Nassif. That final would be awesome, and that would be a lot of fun. We could see it. I mean, this is a very diverse field. I think that's the kind of thing that really favors the good player and the prepared player, and those 2 guys qualify on both counts.
And again, players will spend the whole night working with their networks, play testing, figuring out all the nuances of the matchup.
Absolutely.
You're not going to find much better networks than the Luis Scott Vargas network or the Gabriel Nassif network.
Fair enough. Well, we will be bringing you the top 8 live on MagicTheGathering.com. BDM and I will be in the booth. Pre-game is at 10:45 a.m. in Japan Sunday morning, which works out to be Saturday night if you're in the States.
Right, prime time.
Yeah, no, it should be a lot of fun. So tune in. We will see you then to find out who's going to be Pro Tour Kyoto champion.